Hello and welcome to the BLB. We've got a special midweek round being presented a couple of days late. Nobody notices. Got EFL Trophy quarter-final action. We've got this FA Cup replay that's on your screen now, and then we've got League One and League Two following yesterday's, in inverted commas, NLP action that has already been and gone. So I normally sort of lend my voice when I've got multiple competitions on the same day. You're also joined by a washing machine up there. And first up is that FA Cup replay. So, sort of hope and expect Dan City Cows to come through this, but then you'd have expected them to win the home leg. So he's not been in great form recently. To see what kind of team he's put out, and it's gone quite strong at first glance. It's been a weird season so far, actually. Started very strongly, right in amongst the promotion hopefuls, and actually, unless he hits form akin to that soon, he's kind of tailing off into mid-table at the moment. Myself a tea. It's quite intrigued to see the lineup for Wigan as well. Potential to have a few gold moldies in there. Chris Kirkland between the sticks, playing one of them. A rare day where he's not injured. Got like Victor Moses, Marcus Stewart, formerly of Ipswich, sold on. Paul Sharner, Pascal Chimbonda. Some cracking names from the early 2000s. Can't live with Calv in the first 20 or so minutes though. Interestingly, Hugo Ehiogu's getting game time. He came very close to a move in January, but the Defector of Football Dan put a stop to that as soon as he heard about it. I think it was Vinyl that were interested. He'll also be glad to see Julio Cesar getting back up to full fitness. The Rob Green replacement experiment didn't really go too well. It's actually Chris Kirkland keeping Wigan in this game at the moment. Bit of an unnecessary fixture, should have got the job done in the home leg with an unnecessary injury coming from it as well. Van der Ven having to come off. No Roy Keane today. I'm not sure if that's injury or more likely suspension. But could just be rested. Ryan Taylor's on. Operation do not concede a free kick within 30 yards. The longer it stays at 1, given Calv's recent form, say that's cause for concern. And that's Kevin Doyle in behind. Marcus Stewart spaffing it wide. I know it's Ehiogu. Can't be giving Ryan Taylor corners either, to be honest. dear. Oh, what's a hit? I swear I had no idea that was coming. But my database creations on the money. What a hit. Sorry, Dan. Oh God, surely not. Who says FM isn't realistic? I've done a cracking job here. There is an option when you're managing on FM to play for set pieces. I'm guessing whoever the Wigan A manager is these days has hit that button with fury. Already Gomez is on, but they've used all their subs and that's gone down to 10. That's not going to be great if they go to extra time. Or can Calv kill it off here? Giggs! Been his best player all year. Should see through most of this project. He's only like sort of 20-21 I think on the game still. Fantastic first round pickup. Saving him at the death. Loves an FA Cup late goal, doesn't he? Shirt off, rug on display. We finish it, yeah. Oh, off. Oh, lovely VAR. Got there eventually. That injury to Ramazani, whoever the hell he is, potentially saving his blushes. At least saving an extra 30 minutes. Well, I'm Calv into the 5th round. Wasn't anticipating this one yet, so I wasn't quite mentally prepared. Still haven't quite recovered from my last minute loss to Paul the other day. This feels like an equally tricky fixture against the Cheshampton team that ran a riot the other day. I think they put 6 in the end. 5 or 6 certainly. Against the Sky Lews. Can't ever seem to get Ferdinand and Owen on the pitch at the same time. It's either MATTch and Ferdinand or Asprilla and Owen or some denomination that isn't the two that I wanted. In terms of Cheshire's strike force though, Klinsmann scored 3 in that whitewash of Louis. Could have had a 4th as well. Should have been more, they missed a penalty. Absolutely crazy game. On the same night that I did lose to that 92nd minute Frank Lampard completely undeserved goal. This one to lose would not be a surprise at all. Always thought it was a matter of time until Cheshampton hit their stride and became one of the front runners. And while I have games in hand on Chesh, I wouldn't bank on finishing above it. It is the away team with all the pressure. Still no Des Walker for myself. He's been out for a while. It's been Colaccini usually, but Christopher Ayer coming into the back line today, or at least centrally. So the FM lineup today has got it a bit upside down. We've still got League One action to come, another League Two game, and also the EFL Trophy, what they deem it as a quarter-finals. It's sort of a regional semi-final. classic race that was between Christopher Ayer and Rob Huth. Like watching two shot putters run the 100 metres. It's got 1-0 Chesh written all over it. And just like my Mystic Ryan Taylor prediction, I've been watching and playing too much FM. My record when watching myself is absolutely unbelievable. I wish I'd had kept a tally sheet. Invariably I do win games when I've just sort of popped up the score at the end of a highlights reel, but if I'm ever watching it, I'm just forced to watch utter shite. Being said, Cheshampton haven't exactly been brilliant in this game. I'd say a draw is probably fair. Pretty drab game all in all. I'll take a win if it's coming though. My petulant sulk immediately being rewarded. Love to see it. Definitely haven't deserved to win this game. But in the context of having games in hand, it's actually a quite massive 3 points. I'll take it. Right, where's FM taking us now? Up to League One, just to complete the madness and the lack of sense. Getting a chance to look at another Wigan team. Against Levi, who's sitting third, and has a lot to do if he's getting into that automatic equation again. Could get caught in no man's land unless he starts picking up or gaining points soon. I think that more of the onus is on Thomarse dropping points. It's not like Levi's been playing badly. Maloney and Jimmy Bullard, both Wigan teams are pretty stacked with fun characters. Sadly, Cabbage Head Bruce, no longer manager, inevitably got sacked. I think they've got a sort of foreign import now guiding the way. Falcao's been in really hot form over the past few weeks. Made that striker spot his own. Keeper's got to do better though. Who else have we got in that? Ronnie Stam. Graz, I think I saw as well. Obviously Jimmy, but Demi Lanzat, who I had for a while last year, as did Tom Dauncey. Neither of us decided to keep him though, and he's worked his way back to Wigan. David Cottrell on for Hendry Thomas. A substitution made in Barclays land. It's a Kone. Completely missed him. His outrageous blonde hair. Hauer as well. Some fun names. A bit like the Dan City Cow game. You want a second going into the final 20 minutes. Fortunately for him, there's no Ryan Taylor to threaten, but Sean Maloney could take a free kick as well. Danger. Fino FM. But for who? No, it's still there. You don't have highlights this long without something happening. That was a long wait for that. Furious lorry driver coming past after that passage of play. There it is. 3 points secured ahead of all three of the other sort of League One rivals. We'll go through the scores of those later. Leicester City up against Arsenal C. Foyverton kick-starting a double-header against Cardiff over the next few days. This is the home fixture, and then Thomas Keeble away at Southampton C. So potential banana skin there. The away ones always pose a bit more of a threat. But Levi's kept up his end of the bargain for the time being. League 2. And I mean, this isn't a massively important game in the context of the league, but there weren't many big matches from League 2 today, and so I've picked this one because we haven't seen a lot of Harry Pally in recent weeks, nor Leeds UniTodd actually. But there's two sort of areas of importance for Leeds UniTodd on this highlights reel. Obviously this game in the league, but they were already through to the semi-finals of the EFL trophy as well, so the final of the northern segment, and they'll face either Dan City Y or reigning champions Connorwich City in the final of that sort of northern section. They'll find out those opponents after this game. What has been interesting for Harry Pally perspective is every time we don't watch them, they seem to play this horrid back three with Gerrard at right wing back, and it's just atrocious from a stats and scoreline perspective. As soon as we come to watch them, Wenger gets cold feet or gets peer pressured into playing a back four, and they look like world beaters. And this man is pretty much the cause of everything they've done right this season. Harry had to reject a 50 million odd move to Barcelona for Okocha. The gamble not necessarily being that he'd go there, is that he'd be snapped up immediately by someone else in the waivers. Another person who was pretty much halfway down, or up the M1 to Bolton, was Martin Keown, until Harry dragged him back. Got Fernando Torres back today, which is a big result for Harry. He's been out for a while, ended up with sort of the likes of Jermaine Defoe up front, which isn't a bad thing, not necessarily ideal, with only one up top. And this is a weird result. Leeds United laid bare. This is so unpredictable. They could win 3-0 away at top of the league and then lose these kind of games the week after. Constantly threatening to join the playoff race. and then thrown in a result like this. Say result, we're only 20 minutes in, they've left themselves enough time to come back, in theory. Stroke of genius from Bielsa. As soon as Harry Pally goes to that back four with Gerrard in the middle, whether it's with Alonso or Redknapp or any two of those three. Got Deco, Okocha, Fernando Torres, still lacking a goalkeeper, but that could be remedied in the summer. In theory, it's a quality side. Keown and Melberg at centre back, Munoz at right back, possibly lacking something at left back. Other than that, that's world class. That front six. I wouldn't say it's done and dusted in FM terms. It's impossible to know what teams ought to give if you're 2 or 3-0 up, especially away from home. It just feels inevitable that the other team are going to score a quick goal at the start of the second half, just like that. Suddenly things get jittery. Look at the stats, more shots, more possession. I wouldn't say this is done yet. That could help. Only his second goal of the season. That's what happens when you're stuck at right wing back most of the year. Your best player. That should be enough. Not to present another commentator's curse as Dean Gordon steps onto the pitch, but oh god, what have I done? Yeah, okay, I'll take it back. I'll take it back. I'm sorry, Harry. Classic Bielsa ball. Anelka through the middle finally, started on the left, quite bizarrely. And then he gets taken off. Luckily he's a nice, calm, composed character, so I'm sure he'll be absolutely fine with that. Defoe to wrap it up? No. But it is wrapped up nonetheless. Brilliant win for Harry in an otherwise underwhelming season. Again, the back four doing the business, so what's the bet on next week? Or this weekend even? Going back to that horrid back three again. And finally, I would say this is the highlight of the day, to be fair. And a match with a lot of subplots. The Ipswich fan against the Norwich fan. The former being Dan Wyman of Dan City Y, who have just been imperious in every single cup competition. I know I've said it before, but they've won 2 Community Shields, an FA Cup, a World Club Cup. They're going well in the Europa League as well at the moment. They're still in the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup at the moment. I've lost track. And in the quarterfinals of this as well. But they are facing last year's EFL Trophy champions. And in the league, Connor's definitely been the more encouraging of the two. enjoying his season with Kenny Dalglish and the 4-4-2, helped by the fact he's got an abundance of quality strikers. He's got Fowler out of Boyle today, but he's got Shearer there obviously. Jamie Vardy played at the weekend and scored twice. And now he's brought in Timu Pukki, who's getting regular cameos off the bench, which I'm sure he's enjoying. No sign of Grant Holt yet. As I've said before, it's actually quite difficult to tell where City Y are in the league, because they've got so many games in hand because of those European commitments. I think they're the lowest placed team in the league of the drafted sides, but I'm not sure that's quite representative. I think they're probably a bit higher than that. And again, their cup prowess. This is for a game against Leeds UniTodd in the sort of northern final or the semi-finals of the EFL trophy. And then they'll await the winners of the southern section, that southern final being FullofStrangeham up against AFC Wimbleon, Levi against his good friend Zach. Sebastian Bassong on the ball there. He was denied a January move. Connor continues to build up his Norwich army. Actually, he can count himself a bit unfortunate to be behind. Had a lot of the ball. Or a lot of the meaningful ball anyway. Only 42% possession as you'd perhaps expect for the 4-4-2. After this game, we'll go through the remaining League 1 and League 2 games. So there's the 3 that I mentioned from earlier from League 1, and then there's another 5 games from League 2 as well. So the standout one there being White Hart Chamberlain against Jazz of the Rovers. We've seen a lot of White Hart Chamberlain in recent weeks, and we're going to see a lot of him over the next couple of weeks as well. So I'd give his nerves a rest for the day for Lawrence. Wondering if he might change formation. A bit surprised he's gone that deep with his midfield, especially putting Joe Gomez in there. He needs something. 15 minutes to stay in the trophy to retain his title. Or is he the latest to fall to the mother of all cup beasts, City Y? It's going to be a late chance. Oh, Fowler, what have you done? Rushed it, and it's gone. Well done, Wyman. Connor's title retention is over. Go up to League 1. On latest scores, let me just move it on a bit. There we go. And immediately, a very bizarre result. Ellister City at home to Arsenal C had to come from 2 goals down. Eddie Nketiah and Bertrand Traore, sorry. Forcing Ferran Torres and Ander Herrera to save the day. A rare match with no Phil Foden. And immediately looked a much lesser side. Doesn't really dent their title credentials, but interesting nonetheless. Foyverton, a nicely timed win after quite a tough few weeks. Late Kanu miss off the spot, otherwise pretty handy day. No Ronaldo either. Few players rested midweek, and actually that Ellister City draw doesn't really make any difference unless you're FullofStrangeham. So Giroud red card, plus injuries to Robin and Tomiyasu, have stunted the Thomarse charge. Joe Aribo immediately replying to Jordan Henderson's goal. That means that FullofStrangeham have closed the gap slightly on both of the top two teams. Have a look at that means for the table. So Ellister already guaranteed a playoff spot with 15 games in hand, or 15 games to spare, which is mental. 4 points ahead of Thomarse, who still have 8 points on FullofStrangeham, so I'm trying to create some drama there. If anything, if Foyverton win their 3 games in hand, they'd be a bit closer. But you say those top two look pretty settled at the moment. League 2. And Danielsea with another bizarre result. 3-0 away at AFC Wimbleon, have been in good playoff finding form. Neil Sullivan throwing in the 5.4 that he always threatens to do. Sky Lews, much needed win after a pretty torrid week last week, which led Louis to declare this a fucking shit game, which, to be fair, I can understand. It was a fucking shit game for him last week. And Dzeko making things a little bit brighter ahead of the weekend. The Red Whall overcoming Sheff Wed B, who've decided to ruin a few days of late. Not today. Scholes, Sancho and Solskjaer doing the business. Warringham and Arsened playing out a 1-1 draw, which actually has dropped points for Warringham, you'd say. Definitely favourites in a home tie against Arsened, although they have been better this season. That's a really good draw. Double Sucre in the 90th minute, nullifying the Erling Haaland inevitable goal. And finally, another interesting result for the front runners now, you'd say. 2 very late goals from White Hart, Chamberlain, Van der Vaart and Mido, of all people. And a pretty concerning injury there to N'Golo Kante as well. For Chaz of the Rovers, whose own promotion charge has taken a bit of a battering in recent days. Let's quickly look at the league table here. You can see now 6 games in hand, 3 points off Dauntley's Devils. White Hart Chamberlain sitting very pretty. My win today has also helped my charge. Surely me and Sinner aren't both going up. Interesting to see Connorwich in there. Didn't realise they'd made that much progress. And a win for Harry Pally has seen him jump off the bottom rung of the drafted teams. So that's all for today, and then we'll be back at the weekend where we've got League 1, League 2 and FA Trophy action, and 1 game from the NLP as well. Catch you then.